What's up, guys? And today I'm actually here with a special review. Now, I know it's been a couple of days since this event has happened, but hey, I've had some computer problems here and there. But today I wanted to come and review New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Riot, which I actually went to that show last Friday at the Wintrust Arena here in Chicago, Illinois. And I gotta say, I had a fun time at that show, and I was very surprised at what I actually saw that happened. Now, I did arrive to the building basically close to bell time at about 7 o'clock, so I didn't really see the pre-show matches that went down. I will say that the building, the Wintrust Arena is pretty big. The crowd, I'm not going to say it was sold out, but I will say the floor seats in the lower bowl were. The upper bowl, there were still some people there, but I'm not going to sit and say it was a full house, but it was a big turnout, though, for the show. By the time I did get there, I know that Rocky Romero was out there basically saying he is now the vice president of talent relations now. So, the crowd gave him an applause for that. I saw Chris Charlton, Walker Stewart, and Veda Scott on commentary. I could see from where I was sitting. I was in like the hard cam section and whatnot, so I could see what was going on. I know at times where the arena did get kind of dark out there, to where sometimes it would light up during matches, sometimes it wouldn't light up during matches, but I could see everything, mostly everything good throughout the entire show. I had a pretty good seats. I think I'd also add, I kind of bought my tickets maybe like a day or two before the show, which was very cheap. Sometimes it's best to kind of wait and you'll get really good seats. So I think I made a good decision in doing that. So I had a really good seats to where I was at. But kicking off this show, I know they had Minoru Suzuki. Obviously, everybody sings along to his theme song. He went against Ren Narita. Basically, the story here that, both of these guys were in that strong style faction until, Narita ended up joining House of Torture. Fans were chanting Murder Grandpa out there, which was pretty cool to see. I know that basically it was damn near a ref bump. Suzuki trying to go for his sleeper, and then the God style pile driver. He couldn't get it. Narita ended up using like that push up bar thing, and then he hit the X Factor for the win. So he beat Suzuki from there. Stephanie Vaquer went against AZM. I don't know. I know she came out with like 2, 3 different title belts. I don't know if it was for the actual New Japan. Was it for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship? I think it was. I'm not really sure. I've heard of AZM a few times. It's actually my first time seeing her live. It was a pretty good match, though. I will say that. Stephanie McQuarrie ended up winning. Alex Windsor came out and challenged her then for a title match later on. So I know there were a lot of what chants here and there throughout that. Next, the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag titles are on the line. ELP and Hikuleo, basically the new GLD, versus TDMK, Shane Hasten, Mikey Nichols, Slapjack, versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jorel Nelson and Royce Isaacs, versus Tom Lawler and Fred Rosser. So, I will say I did enjoy this match. It was a very good tag match. We got new tag champions also, New Japan Strong Tag Champs, ELP, well, hell, GLD, and I'm now losing the IWGP tag titles and the New Japan Strong titles. Man, a lot of those tag titles been changing a lot lately in New Japan, but basically, it ended up with ELP and Hikuleo. They ended up hitting their finisher. ELP, it's like the Thunder Kiss 86 jumping off of Hikuleo, but next thing you know, he's about to pin Jorel Nelson, but I believe Shane Hayes got in the ring, pushed the ELP out of there, and now we got New Japan Strong Tag Champions, which is the Mighty Don't Kneel. Like I said, TDMK wins, so we got new tag champs from there. Right after that, the West Coast Wrecking Crew ended up beating up Tom Lawler and well, I'm trying to say Darren Young, but yeah, Fred Rosser there. Basically, they cut his hair and put it in his mouth then, so they got some heat off of that. Now, this match, I have to say, I'm not sure if it's the crowd, and I'm somewhat surprised to see this. Now, Shota Umino Shooter went against Jack Perry. Now, I kind of knew going into this with the reaction Jack Perry was going to get, especially after the video that was shown on AEW last Wednesday of Punk basically choking this man out, beating his ass. Well, I can't even really say it was much of a fight in general, but Punk got his ass in general. And I kind of feel like looking after that whole video from Dynamite, I don't think he was really going to come out looking good out of this. But I will say the crowd was very 50-50. There were times when people booed Jack Perry. Then there's times where people chanted, Cry Me a River, because his whole entrance was this. So yeah, he basically comes out there. He's got all this Riot Squad police surrounding him, and then he has the Chicago flag draped over him, which, obviously was going to get a lot of boos. And his jacket on the back said "Cry Me a River," which apparently he sold a lot of merch because of that. I don't know whether this is going to, only because of Chicago, or what the future will hold up for this, because I don't even think this guy can even come back to AEW after what I've seen. Well, I'm sure everybody's seen the video and stuff, but I don't know. Like, when I was there was times where, the crowd was chanting, "Oh, cry me a river." They were singing that. People were saying GTS. There was CM Punk chants. Then people somewhat cheering him. I have to remember the type of crowd, because the difference with Punk back in WWE and the crowd there, and then I have to remember this is a New Japan show, but it's a lot of pro AEW crowd too, so they're gonna believe that take Jack Perry's side in general. So I will say he got good heat coming out of this. I don't know if it's the best heat you want to have. I don't know if he will look good coming out of this in the future. I'm not really sure. I know this was just because of this show tonight, and the match wasn't bad. And Shooter ended up hitting like the ignition for the win, and then the Death Rider for the win. So he had this ignition and the Death Rider, and won the match from there. And then him and Jack Perry shook hands. So I guess that this feud is now over from this point. But yeah, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy there, got a lot of, like I said, he got a lot of heat coming from this, and it was like somebody holding up a Justice for Jungle Boy sign, and people popped over this, like they really did. But it's just kind of crazy to see, because you wonder if this video did him any favors by getting beat up by Punk. So I don't know. It's a lot to say about that. I've already explained what I thought about the video and AEW review, but I wanted to see what was going to happen, especially days after the video, because like I said, this dude was getting like probably the most heat out of this whole night. So there you go. Right after that, Mustafa Ali, the TNA X Division champion. I don't know what other title he had on him with him, but he went against Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu Takahashi now coming out with a Daryl Jr., his cat, which now jacked to the gills, and he's looking at all the Secret Service people Ali brought with him. This wasn't a bad match. I did enjoy it, even though there was a lot of kind of comedy in it at one point, with the cat being involved, with Daryl and stuff. But I did like it. Ali, obviously from Chicago, so there was a lot of pro Ali chants out there. At one point, he bled pretty heavily, because I know he ended up doing a dive. I don't know if he hit his head on like the, sunset was the turnbuckle, or maybe like on the railing to the outside, even knocked Chris Charlton down, to what I saw. But he had like a lot of blood on his face everywhere. He ended up hitting the 450 for the win, beating Hiromu Takahashi. So I enjoyed the match, and like I said, Ali was very over after the match. People were chanting his name in Chicago, so not really surprised by that. But yeah, he took a lot of blood right there. Next, well, basically, it was supposed to be a Chicago street fight, I believe, with Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd, but they were all going to pick their partners. Basically, it was the Bullet Club War Dogs, or just Bullet Club in general. David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Kenta, and Clark Connor. So at least you're going to see a GTS from the guy that actually made the GTS on this show. But they went against Eddie Kingston, the United Empire, TJP, and Jeff Cobb, and Homicide, who got a big pop out there. I have to say, this was a massive brawl that I cannot try to go over everything, but you got people putting barbed wire over their head, chairs, tables, trash cans, fighting through the whole building. I was damn near close to the action, because they walked past me and everybody was following along, and how crazy things were just all over the place. People were going to pop for Homicide, trying to do the Gringo Killer, but did not work. Basically, they ended up taking out Homicide, which Bullet Club War Dogs won, but the brawl continued right after that, as Eddie Kingston got on the mic saying, fuck you, you're a pussy, and he just cursing him out and stuff, and like, yeah, you want my New Japan Strong title, something, it's going to be a last man standing match at the next, I guess, New Japan Strong show. So a massive wild brawl that went damn near for like 20 minutes out there, which is crazy. Right after that, the New Japan TV title was on the line. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle got a lot of boos. I was kind of surprised to see that, but I had to remember this dude was talking about Punk as soon as he came back to WWE. But now, yeah, a lot of people didn't. They were not digging Matt Riddle out here. They really weren't. And I did enjoy the match. Like I said, when it comes to watching Zack Sabre Jr. matches, it's very different style out there, very technical, and I usually enjoy it. So that's something I do like. Um, but Zack Sabre Jr. actually ended up getting the win. I thought the finish was almost a little bit messed up there, but he ended up hitting like the crucifix driver. Someone said that Matt Riddle kind of no sold the finish and just immediately got out and just start just dabbing up people. Which, yeah, you could see him doing that as soon as the match was over. So I did find that a little bit strange, but still, Zack Sabre Jr. did get the title back though, and he said he had an announcement and stuff. Him getting the the title back. Basically, so who's going to be his next challenger? Jeff Cobb came out then, so it will be Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb. I'm sure at the next New Japan show, which would either be in America or Japan. We'll see what happens from there. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. ended up getting his New Japan TV title back since losing it at Wrestle Kingdom. Nick Nemeth, the IWGP Global Champion, went against Tomohiro Ishii. Great match, I should say. Hard hitting, brutal. Definitely enjoyed it. Obviously, Nemeth got the win. He hit the zigzag, or the danger zone, it's called. Go against Ishii. Pro Ishii crowd out there, I will say that too. People doing like the dog bark noises and stuff. But yeah, Ishii was very over here. Same as Nemeth, but yeah, Nemeth won, so I'm not really surprised he won here. And then the main event happened. Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World title. And man, I was very surprised by this. Overall, this is a great main event, but I was very surprised that Naito lost, because I'm thinking Naito hit the Destino and everything. It was going to be done. He was going to go for another one, but Moxley just ended up hitting like 3 Death Riders. By the way, he bled through this match, so then again, every Jon Moxley match is damn near a bloodfest for some reason. But he bled, and he hit 3 Death Riders and won the match. So I was very shocked that he won the title here. I did not expect Naito to be losing the title right here, given that he just won it at Wrestle Kingdom a couple months ago. What was like his 3rd title defense, I think it was. So what, he's facing Sonata again, because he did that at the New Beginning, and then he ended up facing Yota Tsuji, which was literally last week at Sakura Genesis. And yeah, I think this is his 3rd title defense, and he lost. I did not see that coming. I was very shocked when I saw this. I went in there thinking Naito was gonna win. Okay, I really did. I was listening everybody do the big roll call and stuff. I'd always wanted to see it live, but nah, it didn't happen. Yeah, I did not expect Jon Moxley to be winning here. Naito in these title reigns, I swear to God, sometimes they never go well every time he gets the title. And this is another case, which I don't even understand, this title change, especially with Moxley not even being a guy under New Japan contract, but is on New Japan a lot half the time, given the connection with AEW and stuff. But Moxley won. He thanked the fans, and he said his first title defense is going to be against Shooter. But Narita showed up, started hitting him with the bar, and started jumping him in. And he says, "I'm your next challenger, motherfucker." And Shooter came up for the win. Not for the win, but he came up for the save. And Jon Moxley went on and said, "Narita, you just went from a young boy to a dead man." And that's what ended the show from here. Like I said, I got there at about basically almost 7 o'clock when I entered the building. Like I said, I got there as soon as the show began, okay? But it ended like about maybe 11, I will say. Um, yeah, about 11 o'clock the show ended. So I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I enjoyed the main event. I thought the whole Jack Perry stuff was something I didn't expect, especially given in Chicago and whatnot. But then again, once again, I guess you got to deal with which type of crowd you're dealing with there. Like I said, I didn't even expect all these scapegoat chants to happen, but it happened. But yeah, just from I didn't expect a lot of these title changes to go down. But yeah, the main event was big. I enjoyed Nemeth and Ishii. Zack Sabre Jr. getting the TV title back. The street fight was a wild brawl. Mustafa and Hiromu was pretty cool to see. What else? Like I said, new tag champions also. It was a lot of title changes on this show. But no, I did not expect the world title to change. So yeah, once again, the Shield wins again, folks. So yeah, Moxley is now what, a WWE champion, AEW World Champion, and now an IWGP World Champion now. So yeah, he's got like I said, the Shield. Even when they lose some belts, they end up gaining another. So Shield finds a way to stay up on top. That's something I did not expect. But it was a fun show though. I had a great time and it was really fun. But yeah, even also that actually leaving the building, I actually got a chance to meet Zack Sabre Jr. also. So that was actually kind of surprised. I didn't see that coming, but I ended up getting a photo with him real fast before, head out going back to the car and stuff. But no, it was definitely a fun show. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to be there live in general. And like I said, hey, I didn't see myself meeting Zack Sabre Jr. that day, but hey, that was still pretty cool. But overall, this was a fun New Japan show with some very shocking results. So I don't know how long Moxley is going to be holding that IWGP World title. Maybe Naito gets a rematch. Maybe they either battle at Dominion in June or maybe at the next Forbidden Door show. But no, this is not really what I expected going into this, because I'm just thinking Naito's just going to retain the title. I never thought in my mind that Jon Moxley was ever going to become the IWGP champion. So that's something that shocked the hell out of me. But the crowd was rocking with it though. But it was one of those surprise pops that you just didn't even see happening. So I don't know. I don't know what happens next with Naito. Like I said, I'm sure he'll get his rematch and invoke his rematch clause, but maybe after Narita gets his shot, I don't know. But I give it till Dominion or Forbidden Door. That's the most two shows I can see him getting a rematch against Moxley for the title again. And given Moxley will be on Dynamite this Wednesday with that title, we'll see what happens with that. But like I said before, an overall fun show for Windy City Riot. Like I said, I got to go to the first one like what, a year or two ago, if I'm not mistaken. And that was literally out farther in, what was it, Villa Park, Illinois, which it wasn't even that big of a building. But now they end up going up to an arena, basically in the heart of the city of downtown Chicago, damn near. So made it an easier trip for me, and it really wasn't that far to travel to. And better parking this time. Bit of a walk, but better parking. But yeah, overall, I definitely enjoyed this show for New Japan. I'm glad I went. I think it's probably maybe second New Japan show by itself, not adding AEW. But no, this was definitely fun to see. And hey, I wanted to see Naito live. I'd always wanted to see Naito live, so that was something I really wanted to see, and that was pretty cool too. So now it was a lot of people, like I said, you don't get to see these people all the time live in America and the U.S. because they're always in Japan. So it was just pretty cool to see them, in person, just live. So like I said, had a fun time. There you go. Other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodNight890. I'm out of here. See y'all then. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and peace.